What is happening, gamers? Welcome back to K-Wings Let's Plays, and it's a little bit change of plans tonight. We were going to do Mario Kart, and then we were going to do Cuphead and some other stuff, Legend of Zelda, but you know how it works. Brand new releases always take priority, and no person takes more priority than Batman on any of my channels. So we're going to be talking about the Batman Zero comics tonight, as well as showing off the Batman Zero skin, which is basically a hobbled-together Batsuit after Batman is transported to the world of Fortnite, which is an ongoing comic series you can get on the DC Infinite app, or you can pick up issues in comic book stores if you want to go to them right now. I prefer going to DC Infinite. There was no skin bonus for issue number 2. I think that's why they released this in the store, because you didn't get anything additional from that. But let's check out the opening movie. And then I will talk about it afterwards, and we'll get to some gameplay, as well as looking at the skin in detail.
If there's one thing I know about you, even when the chips are down and the hand is dealt, you never, ever give up. I don't know where you are, or what trials you're facing, but I have nothing but pity for whoever gets in your way.
Wow, Batman has guns. So, if you guys didn't know, Batman is transported into the world of Fortnite, and as issue 2 states, or rather, it shows, Batman basically has to find ways of surviving, and also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's been killed numerous times in the world of Fortnite. He has different scars and things that he has written on his gloves to tell him about what's been going on. Remember this, or, you know, keeping track of what's happening. So, it's a little bit different than Batman's first kind of crossover into Fortnite. This is a guy who's worn battle-wise. He looks pretty cool. So, the Batman bundle itself is available now in the item shop, and it will be for quite a while. There you can see right here. There we go. You get the Batman Zero costume from the current Batman crossover comics with Fortnite at DC Comics. A messed up cape, which I think we'll use for a little bit, but I prefer the other Bat cape that you can not have all ripped up and stuff like that. Also, I can't get over the fact that he's actually smiling. Kind of throws me off a little bit. Like, tremendously throws me off. It's like, what is this, Adam West Batman? He's not really smiling in the comic crossover because he's kind of confused about why he is where he is. His suit's all damaged. He has to use materials that he finds in this world to kind of, you know, continue on his Batman stuff. And there are other members of the Bat Clan that end up in this world too, but you'll see them as the story progresses in the comics. It's going to be 6 issues. The Bat Glider looks pretty much the same as from 2019. The only difference is it's torn up quite a bit. They've added a little bit of Bat graffiti there. And I like this picture a lot more than the Gotham City one. This is pretty cool. So we're going to be adding this picture. And we're going to mess around with some emotes because Batman does not do some of this stuff. So, yeah, some of these dances aren't going to work. He's serious. So we're bringing back the Bat Signal from 2019 because of reasons. Okay, thank you. I didn't really want that, but we got his Bat Signal back. Old school 80s dances? No. Nah. Gotta be more serious than that. Batman is totally serious, so no Gangnam Style either. Maybe Force Choke? Dark Side Force Choke? Looks like a Batman pose, a little bit. Okay. No Raven powers. What is this? No, obviously no. Evasive maneuvers? Yeah, you could get away with that. I like that one, though. That's cool. So a little bit of Marvel action there. Let's see, what else? Martial Arts Master, yes! That's pretty cool. That works. Ballerina, no. 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 What is this? No. Crying Batman. Batman after he's gone down crime alley. No. Let's see. Respect and peace. No! It's so weird. Batman eating a pizza? No! No! What? No, no, I don't like that either. Not a fan of that. Eating the popcorn? No. Superhero landing. Yes. You can't go wrong with superhero landing. And I thought he had like a more serious one too. They need the finger wag where he's like, That would be a Batman emote. What is that? Well, you could give that to the Joker, actually. I didn't know I had that. No. Oh, wait, no, I didn't want to do that. That's the alien thing. Oh! Really? We're doing this? We're doing this? Okay. No. Okay, I'll give him that. That works. I'm good with that. We're gonna change the background. We're still rocking the Batman music from before. All in all, the Fortnite Batman comic isn't too bad, like in terms of crossover. I mean, I thought it would be worse, but it's not bad. I kind of like the story so far a little bit. You know, it's okay. Could be a lot worse. There we go. He's not smiling here, so this is better. So how the Batman skins work is, you can see they actually moved the movie one now. The movie one is down here, and the two comic book versions of Batman are right next to each other, but they don't look the same. This is the Fortnite Batman, and this one is DC Comics. You can see that the jawline is different. It kind of has like an Affleck look to the jaw a little bit. He's a little bit more muscular than the other Batman, which you can see is kind of thinner. The cape is... Oh, that's actually the new cape. So, that's... I like that, though. If you put the ripped-up cape on the different Batman, it doesn't make the cape look all weird compared to some of the other Batman capes that you got. It would add, like, this, I can show you real quick. It added this, kind of, like, action figure look to the cape. Where is it? That's not it. Shouldn't all the DC stuff be together? Oh, okay. Uh-oh, wait. I've just been brought into using... I'm the Dark Knight right now, aren't I? Oh, well. Accidentally chose the Dark Knight when I... Oh, nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. Never mind. I thought I was going to accidentally pick the Dark Knight, but that didn't happen. And my emotes are all good? Sweet. There we go. We'll look at more detail of his costume in a little bit, but I was trying to go over the differences, show you that this is a... We'll say this is a thicker Batman. How's that? This is thicker Bruce. He's been enjoying Fortnite dining, I guess. Not really sure. he looks a little bit different. The other Batman skins, like, they literally look like, you know, a Fortnite character wearing a Batman skin, whereas in this one, he's a little more filled out, you know? I like that he's more muscular. I don't agree with people saying that this is the armored suit from the Snyderverse. I don't know why they haven't included some Snyder stuff, but if you didn't know this already, I can totally tell you this. There is a gag order in place at Warner Brothers for anything Snyder Cut related. They're also heavily pushing right now the Whedon film because that is canon to the Flash movie that's currently filming over in England. In fact, they are doing the Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton stuff. Keaton is over in, I believe, London or Britain, or I don't really remember a lot of British or English lands and stuff like that, because obviously I've never been over there. I was invited by Hasbro in 2015 to fly to London to look at the Transformers Universe game, but I wasn't able to go at the time, and I regret not doing it because I really wanted to take Amber overseas, but there were some things that were not possible for me to travel back then. If I could do it over, I would have gone back and I would have gone to see the Transformers Universe game and hung out with my friend Guru Larry, and done a lot of things differently, but, you know. I'm trying to get better at that now, but I blew a bunch of opportunities in the past. But anyway, so what was I talking about before I got to the... Oh, we were talking about Michael Keaton. So they're filming the Wayne Manor from the 1989 Batman movie. So like I said, Keaton is over there right now. And I don't know if we're going to see any shots of him in the 89 Batman suit, because Keaton is terrified of the 89 Batman suit. He's claustrophobic. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that, to be honest. So I'm sure if he's under contract to wear the suit, he'll wear the suit again. But there's some new concept art about his new Batman suit that's in the Flash movie. It's kind of like a combination of the Batman Returns and the 89 bat suit, but to give Keaton a little bit more maneuverability, the ability to turn his head a little bit. So if you guys were thinking that the classic 89 bat suit was going to show up and Keaton was going to wear it again, I don't think so, no. Because Keaton hates that suit. You will see the 89 in Returns bat suit and maybe some other suits displayed in the Batcave, which is going to be cool. But the suit that Keaton's probably going to wear is a hybrid of Returns and 89, but with more modern standards. So it'll be like all black. The bat symbol probably will still be yellow, but it will have like kind of maybe a Kingdom Come aspect to it. So Batman can actually move around. I mean, Keaton. Keaton can move around. Keaton's my Batman, so, you know, whenever I think Batman, I think Keaton sometimes. If I really think the definitive version of Batman, I think Kevin Conroy's animated incarnation. Although Ben Affleck, if he stuck around, he was slowly becoming my live-action Batman. But anyway, getting back to the whole Ben Affleck stuff, like I said, there's a gag order in place, so I would not expect to see a lot of Snyderverse stuff. If things were going better with, that stuff, then you probably would see WB being okay with more Batman skins happening, because they basically blew a huge opportunity for them to have more Batman skins in this game. But with that gag order in place and WB employees not able to really talk about stuff and only talk about the Flash movie and the Whedon thing and just kind of ignore, you know, Snyder's vision completely, you're really not going to get a lot of Affleck's Batman and crossover stuff. Which Fortnite would be ideal because he's essentially Manslaughter Batman. So, I mean, you know, it would have been a perfect opportunity. But instead, now we have two different comic book versions of Batman in this game, and there's another Batman skin coming. I can't tell you details on that because I don't know what the skin is going to look like. But you'll probably see some type of costume debut in the 0 Point Batman crossover comic with DC sometime this summer. And Slade and Robin will be coming. Catwoman might be getting a new costume. Unless her costume doesn't change in the whole 0 Point thing. Zelda, I'm going to have to put you in the basement if you keep this up, because you're kind of distracting me. All I'm doing right now is just kind of running around. Okay, yeah, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go. You're very cute, but bye-bye. That's how we roll. Cataway. Saxophone Batman. Very nice. Very nice. I like that. My gosh. And I'll also be talking about the comic book a little bit. All in all, I thought the first issue was really good, but I kind of skimmed through it the first time because I was like, I just want the skin. Just want the Harley Quinn Rebirth skin. And then DC didn't give me the skin right away. I had to wait like a day or two because there was an error sending the skins. But everybody was outraged from issue 2 because there's like, where's the content for issue 2? Well, issue 2 is apparently a bundle that everybody can buy, you know, digitally on Fortnite. So you get the Batman Zero bundle, which has this kind of... It's not really a grappling gun, though. This is a... it's his new pickaxe, which I don't know. It kind of reminds me of. Do you guys remember those? If you're my age, there was a Kenner's action figure line from the 90s, and this kind of grapple gun that Batman is basically a makeshift grapple gun / axe. This reminds me of what the grapple toys kind of look like, the accessories that would come with those old 90s Batman action figures. In fact, this looks pretty similar to some of those Elseworlds Batman figures that came out in the mid to late 90s. A little bit. But the only reason people are saying, oh, this is Affleck Batman, when I've read some like video game sites and other things, is they're talking about the jawline is that of Affleck, which it might be. They might be using Affleck as like a model, but this skin, which you really can't see except like outside of the game, the skin basically looks like the Batman that appears in that crossover comic book for Fortnite. Not necessarily the Batman that appears in the DC Dark Knight Legends, I think is the new Batman books with Bruce Wayne or something like that. The storyline that continued after they wrapped up Future State. Although technically Future State's not done. It's the whole DC Infinite thing, sort of, kind of. But that just means there's multiple Batmans. You have Bruce Wayne, you've got Tim Fox now. And they might be introducing another Batman soon. Just as an Elseworlds thing, though. So, I mean, it's not like a big deal. It's not like Bruce and some of these other people are just going to disappear completely. Am I on the red team or the blue team? I think I'm on blue team. Yeah, I'm blue. Red team is the opposite. It's been a while since I played Fortnite, so. I really had no plans to look at this guy today, honestly. I heard rumors that this skin was going to be in the game sometime in May, but I was thinking that would be like around the 15th or something. The only thing I can think of is there's going to be... Have you guys heard this rumor yet or no? Because we can talk about this real quick. Let me see a show of hands. Have you guys heard the rumor about DC versus Marvel by NetherRealms? Have you guys heard that rumor yet, or... Because it's been going around for a year or so, at least. There's no, like, NDA on it. Because it's just purely speculation at this point. Has that made the rounds on Twitter yet? Because I haven't been on Twitter very much the past week and a half. Yeah? Okay, good. So anyway, apparently NetherRealms is going to be at E3. And everybody is trying to say that Injustice 3 is going to be announced at the DC Fandom event. But I don't think that's the case because I don't think it's Injustice 3. There's a lot of evidence that is currently pointing toward DC versus Marvel. Based on stuff that Ed Boon said like a few years ago. When people were asking him about, would you love to, do a Marvel game? And he was like, yeah, totally, that'd be great. And he says, actually, we're talking to Marvel about a big project. And they're like, can you say anything about that? And 2 or 3 years ago, he was like, no. But it's interesting that he brought up that question in regards to Injustice 3. Which, people back then were kind of like, oh, well, maybe he's talking about after they do the Injustice 3 game, then they'll do a Marvel fighting game. But what if there is no Injustice 3 and the crossover game is Marvel versus DC? Which Marvel on its own, as a fighting game, I don't think it's really going to break the internet the way that a DC versus Marvel game is. Because Traveler's Tales, the Lego company, for years has been trying to get that crossover license. It became especially difficult when Disney bought Marvel. Because beforehand, the plan was to have like a Marvel versus DC Lego game about 10 years ago. That's what, Traveler's Tales wanted to do when they were doing, like, Lego Batman 2 and the first Lego Marvel game. And then everything got kind of, like, messed up from there. It became more difficult. So, if NetherRealms was able to beat them to the punch and make, like, a more realistic Marvel DC thing, that would be kind of cool. But anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's possible some type of formal announcement is going to be happening this month. Either NetherRealms is going to drop the news, or Warner Brothers and Marvel, like, together. But if that's the case, then I would say E3. If NetherRealms doesn't announce, like, a Mortal Kombat bundle again this year, like another DLC costume set, which people are still pushing for Ash and some other characters, then I would say that either they're going to reveal Injustice or they're going to do the Marvel vs. DC game, which would cause a lot more waves and breaking the internet than Injustice 3. Even though I think Injustice 3 would be a fantastic game, I think you need something that's really going to build a lot of hype around, and you can't do more than that than the biggest crossover of all time between these two comic book giants, DC and Marvel, which they really haven't had a crossover since the 90s in terms of comic books, so we'll see what happens. But people are saying in the industry to kind of watch for the May dates to see if either Ed Boon or Marvel or DC or Warner Brothers are going to make like some type of major announcement about the next fighting game for DC, or the next, like, you know, video game in general for that. So that's got people kind of talking a little bit, at least the forum sites that I visit to, like where a lot of, we'll say, reporters. I don't like the term journalists anymore because that's a very loose term. There are very few game journalists anymore. There's reporters. Some of them are good, and some of them are cray-cray. But that's where a lot of us, you know, people hang out and get a lot of our information from. Sometimes we use Twitter, but mostly people use Twitter to just bellyache about the world and different things about politics or social issues and stuff like that. So you get very few scoops on Twitter these days. You have to stick to the old ways. The old ways are best, as Darkseid says. We'll stick to the old ways. So these forum sites from years ago where, you know, game developers and other people hang out, that's sometimes the best place to get scoops and to find out what's going on in the industry. So I still have my ear to the ground in a lot of those places. And it was very nice to see Max bring light, Maximilian, to the Marvel vs. DC thing as well. Because he honestly, I wouldn't say we have the same sources in the fighting game industry, or like, you know, just the gaming industry in general. Max is much, much bigger than I, and also he literally, if memory serves correctly, he was a game developer at one point, or worked for a few game developers. So he has way more, you know, pull that way. So if he's heard some things that match up with rumors I've heard from a couple years ago, and a few other people who've, you know, been talking about this behind the scenes for at least 4 months now, like really pick up and talk about it again, whereas everybody's just kind of like, oh yeah, Injustice 3 is totally what they're going to do, but the whole Marvel versus DC thing has been picking up traction again behind the scenes for quite a while. So that's always fun. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, all my plans, the plans had to change today because of Batman. I had all my streams scheduled, and I wasn't counting on this happening this week. The 0 Point Batman skin was supposed to release in Fortnite this May, but I didn't think it would be on Star Wars Day. Thought they would release some type of Star Wars skin or something, you know? But here we are. And I'm totally down with that. That's fine. I bellyached about this skin a little bit when I first saw it, and I was like, yeah, I think this is kind of lame because, yeah, I wanted the Affleck armored skin. I'm not going to lie. I thought if they do any type of armored Batman skin, then it would have to be this skin. But here's the thing. Did you guys know that the leaked Batman skin names that they have in this game, there's actually one that's called Armored Batman. This is listed as Batman 0. So, what is the Armored Batman skin? Is it Affleck's thing, or are we going to see another Batsuit or two in the 0 Point crossover? Because this isn't the Armored Bat skin. This is 0 Batman. So this does not match with the data mining. If you're wondering, the Armored Batman suit was data mined along with Deathstroke, Robin, Raven, and I think another Teen Titan. And there was one other Batman skin. But I don't remember the name of it. I only remember the armor of the Deathstroke and the Robin. Because I don't really play Fortnite much, so I don't really pay attention to all the different Fortnite sites. My intel for Batman comes from Batman sites. You know, Batman forum sites, Batman scoop places, DC-oriented stuff. So if there's any other information about Fortnite, chances are I'm not going to discover it because I'm not looking for it. I don't really care. It doesn't... it's not in my wheelhouse for information. You know what I mean? If it's something Batman about, the movies, the games, upcoming animated series, yeah, I'm your guy. I'll be able to get that stuff. But just in general, no. If it doesn't revolve around my expertise, then I don't care. I don't go searching for it. And I would never find it anyway. That'd be impossible. You know what I mean? Oh, they brought back the bear. Cool. And they're still selling this really creepy bundle. Ugh. Oh, I have him. Yeah, that Shogun guy. That's cool. See, this is really weird, though. You would think on May 4th they would have Star Wars stuff. But now DC's like, you know what? We're going to push Batman stuff. But see how it says Batman Zero? Right there? This is not Armored Batman. This is Batman's look from part of issue 1 and mostly issue 2 of the Batman Zero books that you can read on DC Infinite, or you can pick up in store if you want. But, you know, there's that whole pandemic thing going on. So anyway, what I wanted to look at real quick when... Yeah, look at that. Stop smiling. It's creepy. Don't do that. Thank you. Let's not do the creepy smiling. So, as you can see right here again, this jawline, which made people think that Affleck suits were coming. If you look at the shape of the ears, too, this also makes me think that they had like a whole Affleck line of bat skins that were going to be in Fortnite a couple years ago. Because those ears right there, those are the ears from Affleck's cowl. So, possibly, the armored Batman suit that is going to appear in this game sometime, probably later this year or after the whole Zero stuff ends, that's Affleck's cowl. Now, if you go to compare, see how the ears are a little bit bigger for the comic book Batman? If his head wasn't tilted like that, you could actually see how high the ears actually are. But this is comic book. This is basically Batman in Fortnite cosplay. Like, this is... They call this comic book Batman, but this is, like, early Batman skin stuff. It's still great skin. I think it looks fine, but he's not as muscular. His costume is more akin to the New 52 style. I think it would have been better if they did, like, at least the DC Rebirth line, where he had kind of like a yellow outline to the oval. But what I was talking about before is when you put on different Batman capes, which I don't know why they're way down here. The comic book one, you can see that it actually works with the suit and it matches the cowl. You know, it extends all nice. Whereas if you go and you switch from the comic book Batman to the movie one, then it's going to do like this weird action figure thing. See? Kind of adds like this Batman emblem on the back. This is something that you would see on a lot of like late 90s Batman action figures. Which is fine. I mean, it's a nice throwback to that, but that always kind of bothered me. Same thing when you bring back Bale's cape. You can see that it totally matches the style of Bale's suit. This is exactly how the suit looked like in The Dark Knight Rises. Not so much The Dark Knight. This is The Dark Knight Rises because he has like more of a motion to his neck. He can turn it better. And he has kind of like, if you really look at the way that the neck guard is designed in Bale's Batsuit, they basically used this for the Batman Matt Reeves costume, except they expanded it and made it look more vampire-like with the collar. But also Bale kind of had the idea to do something like this with the neck guard with his suit so that he could be able to actually twist his head, which nobody wants to go through what Keaton went through. And that's why I'm telling you guys that the Keaton suit that you're going to see in the new Batman movie, according to my sources, is going to be kind of like a hybrid of the 89 and 92 suit, so that Keaton will be able to move around a little bit more. It's still going to look very nostalgic, but it's going to be more modern so that Keaton won't freak out in it. And he's not really going to be wearing the suit all that much anyway, because he's supposed to be much older. But also notice how the ears are really tall compared to these other Batman suits. And the 0 Point Batman, which is here, is definitely, that's the Affleck cowl. That's not even what his ears look like in the Zero comic. So I could see some people getting confused about, okay, this is Affleck Batman, because that's his cowl. But here, same thing again. So we were thinking, okay, the cape is going to get all weird. The older capes are still very action figure-like on Batman himself. Even if you bring back the comic book one, there he goes with a creepy smiling. Stop that, freak. He's got the Kenner Batman cape again. So, I mean, that would drive me crazy. So, we're just going to stick to his torn-up cape, which is way up here. Way up here. I don't know why they put it way up here. You would think they'd put it with the rest of the DC line, but whatever. It is what it is. There we go. So we can see his cape a little bit more. Okay, the smiling is really creeping me out. Stop that. Stop. 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 Wanted to kind of look at... I thought there's ways to zoom in at other parts of the suit as well. Like, isn't there? I thought I could do it in one version. I could look at the gauntlets and stuff like that. So, some of the gauntlet stuff that you're seeing on the side of Batman's costume here, this is basically kind of like a tribute suit that they're incorporating a lot of different Batman storylines into one for Zero. I would say that the gauntlets that he's wearing right here are very akin to Batman Begins, like the movie suit a little bit. You can see how, like, the razors on the side right there. The only difference is they wouldn't have, like, probably 3 prongs on the side of his gauntlet. I think Bale's Begin suit only had, like, 2, I think, and, like, 1 really tiny one. But I'd have to really look at the suit itself. It also kind of has, like, a Mad Max vibe to it a little bit. His utility belt is basically just a belt in this one. It's probably a capsule-based utility belt, like something Keaton would wear. Also, just the belt buckle that he's wearing right now, this could hint at a possible Keaton suit in this game. Like, if they continue doing the crossover stuff. There is a skin for Jones, I think, or Jonesy, that he's wearing the utility belt from Batman and Batman Returns. Like, that's Batman's utility belt from that. So, this is a nice little tribute suit. That is the Keaton-style buckle, which is very different than the Batman utility belt that they had here. That is more pocket-oriented. You can see. That is the Jim Lee-style utility belt right there. Which they argued that a Carpenter belt works better for Batman than the more sci-fi capsule-based ones. Like over here. And capsule-based meaning like on the back of the back of the belt, he has like compressed gadgets. So it's not just like he's wearing a regular belt. There's actually gadgets in there. There's supposed to be capsules on the side to give it that kind of like cool look to it. And if we could actually zoom in, it would be nice to see if we could have detail of that. That glove looks like kind of what he had in the Batman Zero from the New 52. In fact, the ripped up sleeves is definitely a tribute to that New 52 storyline. The chest plate that he's wearing, that is a callback to the recent DC Future State Dark Detective comics, where Bruce is not calling himself Batman anymore because Tim Fox is Batman. So he's wearing kind of like this makeshift armor plating with a bat symbol on it. So that's why they gave him that. He's supposed to be like a tribute Batman costume, you know? He'll cost you some money, though. 2,000 or 3,000 Fortnite points. I also want to look at his base again real quick before... Why am I dressed as a Joker again? That's weird. It's having a glitch. That's fun. It's having me as the Joker. No, I don't want to do that. Don't do that. Alright, let's watch the movie again. So we can check out where he's forging this stuff.
If there's one thing I know about you, even when the chips are down and the hand is dealt, You never, ever
That's his
give up.
superpower.
I don't know where you are, or what trials you're facing, but I have nothing but pity for whoever gets in your way.
They need to bring Gotham back. That looks like Gotham. But Gotham isn't in this again yet, right? I don't believe so. But yeah, I could see how people on those comic book sites are saying that Affleck skins are coming because that's the cowl. You know, it's very different than the other suits. Incredibly different. Which is fine. I mean, I like the Affleck suit, but you can always tell what the Affleck cowl is like is because they went with a more shorter ears, because the shorter ears were done because Ben Affleck is wicked tall. Like, he's taller than Henry Cavill, so they needed to find a way of making Batman, you know, the actor not looking quite as tall. So if they would have given Affleck, like, the really tall bat ears, then his normal size of 6'5", plus with the additional height of the bat ears, would make Batman look really, really tall. So, they had to give Affleck the shorter ears. They had to. Which some people were like, well, they did that too because of the whole Frank Miller's Batman. And it kind of worked out that way, because Frank Miller's Batman had shorter ears too. But, yeah, this suit, I don't know, I like aspects of it. I don't like that Batman looks like so thin and kind of sickly here. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's toned and stuff like that, but I mean, this Batman looks like he could, you know, tear you up. Like, if I had to run into this Batman or this Batman, I would probably take my chances with this one or this one. You know what I mean? It looks like he hasn't been hitting the gym too much, and, you know. They're all crazy. I mean, this is like psychopath Batman. Look at the eyes. You know, that's pretty crazy looking eyes. But no, I would not. This guy would rip me in half. You know, this is the kind of guy that would kick over the tree from the Batman Year One stuff. Like, that's that Batman. I don't know why it's having me Joker again. That's weird. Because I've literally selected this guy. But that's fine. So we're going to save him. Okay. Kind of want to watch the movie again. I like the movie. Now it's saying I'm Venom. Wow, this is weird. This is weird. That's a fun glitch. I'm not Venom, but okay. You can literally see I'm selected this guy. Right, for fun I'll just load Harley, see what happens. Let's load Harley, see if it fixes it. Nope. Nope. That didn't fix it. I might have to exit out of the game for a minute because I think it's kind of glitched. Might be glitched a little bit. While I have some free time, I want to double check Bale's gauntlet real quick. See if he has 3 prongs or 2 prongs on the side of his gauntlet. Because that definitely is very Batman Begins inspired. Let me see. Let's go with Bale Batman Begins suit. Begins suit. Okay, looking at the gauntlets, he has... Wow, those are really tiny. They're definitely forged. He's got 3. Yeah, looking at the way the cuff is made, that's supposed to be a tribute to Bale. That is. The only thing they could have done a little bit differently is the way that Bale has his suit is the ninja gauntlets, they kind of slide over. They're not really gloves itself. They're armor. And then he wears like a just kind of black gloves over his hands. It's not like they're black gloves that goes to his forearm or something like that. The gauntlet is this metal ninja gear. And then for the Dark Knight Rises, Bale suit, Dark Knight suit, Dark Knight suit. Does he just keep the same gauntlets? I want to see. No. He has different gauntlets. They're completely different. Looking at the Bale suit, they really didn't do a good job in Fortnite with it. The cowl is just kind of messed up in this one. The cowl has like this weird freakish shape. Almost looks like kind of animal-like. Yeah, I don't like it. It's okay on a side shot like that, side profile. But if you look at the suit directly, the way that Fortnite did it, I mean, that is an ugly mask. They did a much better job with the mask in Arkham Knight when they did the movie suit. This one, it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look anything like the cowl. They totally botched that. Which may be why they've never, as far as I know, they never re-released the movie Bale suit in Fortnite. They've only had the comic book Batman has come back from time to time. The cowl is pretty cool. It's very clean. I like this cowl better though. That looks like a battle-worn Batman cowl. And the 4 o'clock shave type thing is pretty cool too. The stubble. Yeah. Probably. I'm not really I turned shuffle on? What is shuffle? Shuffle. R2. I mean, I'm just gonna exit out of the game and come back in, and then this will probably be fixed. I'm just gonna come back in. No, I'm in the middle of stuff, so I'm not gonna time people out. I'm looking at stuff. Amber's talking to me, guys, so I can't. Night, babe. Did you take your BP? I knew you forgot. I knew you forgot. It still has me play as... That's weird. So you guys are saying I accidentally turned something on? Oh, I see. Shuffle enabled. I got it. I see. Okay, we're good to go. I see what's going on. Thanks, guys. So basically, shuffle, it just changes all the characters I'm wearing. Like, it'll pick up somebody randomly for me to play as. Okay, it's still not letting me get into a match, though. And I can't see the suit very well like that. Will it let me stay on this screen, or is it... Okay, it'll let me stay on this screen. So I'll just stay here until we can start. That way I can keep looking at the costume. Yeah, I love the way that... the intensity that they have for the costume. I also like the worn and torn aspect of it. I think it's pretty cool. But... What's interesting, you go and you look at the Batman Zero, like any part of the issue. I'm opening up my DC Infinite app right now, and I'm looking at the suit, which I can't show you guys because I don't have the technology to incorporate my Okay, good job, honey. The cowl in the Zero issue is... Probably about 100, honey. You'll be fine. You have the card with you. Yes, that'll be fine. Okay, that's fine. Honey, I'm in the middle of stream. Whatever you need to spend to get the car fixed so you can safely drive to Illinois, that's all that matters. I'm not going to say it online. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at the first issue. Or not the first issue. The second issue of Zero Point, which I have right here in my DC Infinite thing. And his cowl changes to what you see here. It goes to more like the Affleck thing. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go with this. Yeah, his cowl was different in the DC universe before he comes to Fortnite. So they made it smaller. His cowl size is part of the Legends of the Dark Knight books. So it kind of starts as like a DC Comics thing. And then they change it for Fortnite. They change it to look like this suit. So he has like, you know, the more normal thing. I love his expression when he first arrives into the world of Fortnite. But what makes it interesting, as you go on in the DC Infinite or the Batman 0 Point comics, is the opening of the second issue. He has things saying like, how long have I been here? And according to this, I'm stuck in a time loop of 22 minutes. And he has things written all over him like, who am I? Why do I have this? What's all this information? How did I get to be here? Little reminders. This happened before. Remember this. You have 22 minutes left. Coordinates, like, written all over things like his batarangs and his suit. His makeshift weapons and stuff like that. So, the reason why it's an interesting comic book is it takes Batman out of his element, but he's still Batman. It's just things are weird for him. That's why this movie is so cool.
If there's one thing I know about you, even when the chips are down and the hand is dealt, you never, ever give up. I don't know where you are or what trials you're facing, but I have nothing but pity for whoever gets in your way.
No, the ears are a little bit bigger. If you go back and you look at the first issue of 0 Point, his ears are like around the same size as the Legends of the Dark Knight issue. And then his cowl like becomes more Affleck-like, more into the issue. Which is fine. Amber's just stressed about traveling. Don't worry about it, guys. She's fine. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Thanks for getting chat info to Luke. Yeah, I appreciate that. Guys, make sure you ready up so we can get into a match. Apparently, I can't leave this screen or the game is going to not allow me to do anything, which is weird because I used to be able to just sit over here and kind of hang out and wait, but now it's like kind of timing me out over here, which is weird because I just kind of want to keep the skin the focal point. You know what I mean? I need to kick somebody called Nate. They're holding everybody up. I'll try. How do I do this again? Apparently you're holding everybody up there, Nate. Let's see. Ready, 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 ready. You're not ready. So you gotta go. Everybody else good to go? Everybody else is good to go. Alright, cool. Thanks for letting me know about that, guys. I really appreciate that. Very cool. Let's see, what else can I get from the second issue that it was on? Yeah, I got it. I got it, guys. Thank you. I saw. Yeah, it's a time skip. He makes his own little bat cave type. It's not really a cave, though. It's the cat is a friend. Coordinates are written here. It's not a bad issue. Yeah, I'm assuming that Catwoman's costume is going to get a variant in this game as well. Mostly her suit just looks like it's all beat up. kind of torn and stuff like that. It says the cat is a friend, but the bat is a friend. Okay. We're just waiting on people to start then. Yeah, see, every time I leave, it just, like, kicks me out. So I just have to sit here, and I'm not a very patient person. The waiting. The waiting is the hardest part. So what do you guys think of the suit? When I first saw it, I didn't like it, but I'm okay with it now, I guess. I want to see the other costumes that they have planned. Bats are friends, not pests. Last guy needs to ready up. I keep getting unready for whatever weird reason. Which you guys can see right here. Do you think Wonder Woman or Superman will be in Fortnite? Luke, scratch his beard. How do I scratch his beard? Okay, that's cool. You didn't like it at first, but you got used to it. Okay. Pretty intimidating hobo Batman. Wow, it keeps unreadying me. This is really annoying. Also, our thumbnail's all glitched and messed up again. So we're going to go and change that. Boom. I'll probably be doing another video with this skin just because I like it. Well, I mean, it's Batman and, you know, people expect me to do that, so. I'm being unreadied again. This is wicked annoying. Either there's something wrong with the group that I'm in, or there's just something wrong with the matchmaking system because I've been... I'm not touching the controller at all, and it's gonna watch. When I go look at the chat again, it's gonna unready me. Unless there's somebody over there that's causing it to... See, look at that. The Harley Quinn person is not ready, and the other Batman is not ready. Okay, you're ready, good. Ready, 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 ready. Not ready, Harley Quinn. Quinn user, ready up. You might be causing the glitch. I better not be seen using a gun. What's up, Batman? Deathstroke is coming to Fortnite. Yes, he is. Deathstroke is coming to Fortnite. Do you think the skin is worth it? I mean, come on, guys. I buy lots of Batman crossover stuff. Like, I've looked at all the mobile games that Batman's been in. Well, okay, with exception. I've not done a lot of the Justice League mobile games. Like the Justice League Legends and DC Legends and things like that. The more World of Warcraft or... what's the name of that game? League of Legends. I haven't done the League of Legends DC games or the World of Warcraft style DC games. Other than I did look at the story for DC Universe Online. I did that when it came to Nintendo Switch. But I haven't done the other one. I've played all the Batman Arkham games. That's how I'm known. Like, you're on my second channel right now. My first channel is called Nightwing01, and it's 90% Batman content. All the Arkham games, all the Batman video games you can think of, as live streams and all kinds of stuff. Batman lore, Batman comic book reviews, Batman movie reviews. Been doing Batman since 2010. No, wait, nope. No, I did Batman before then. Excuse me, 2008. I did a 2-month series of just Batman games, starting in 2008 and then again in 2010. Yeah, I believe so. During the height of the Dark Knight is when I really started to do a lot of Batman stuff. And that's also when Lego Batman 1 came out, was 2008. And my first Let's Play ever was Batman Brave and the Bold in 2010. Which is weird. The very first Let's Play that Amber and I ever did was a Batman game. It would have been cool if the very first video I ever did was a Batman game, but it wasn't. The very first YouTube video that I uploaded technically is a Batman thing because it was our honeymoon at the Six Flags New England. And we went to the Batman stunt show. But I had a Soul Calibur and I had another video up as one of my first ones, if I remember correctly. But my first review was Spider-Man 3. And I didn't do a Batman review, even though I liked Batman more. Batman didn't have any brand new games at that time. Spider-Man 3 had just come out. So I literally did a new release. That would have been interesting if it came full circle. Like the first thing I ever did was a Batman game. But nope, my first Let's Play was Batman. My first popular walkthrough series was Arkham. Millions of views. Millions and millions of views. Back when YouTube worked. And then my most popular video of all time, unfortunately, is not the Arkham Knight ending explained video. Which I would love for that to be my life's work, but it's not. Most popular video of all time is Amber and my Marvel video. Spider-Man versus Black Suit Spider-Man. Symbiote Spider-Man versus Spidey. 11 million views, I think. Something like that. That's our all-time video. And it would take, at the rate that my Batman video is going, the Arkham Knight Explained video has 3 or 4 million views, so in 10 years it could get 10 million views. Maybe. Which would tie it with my, assuming that Spider-Man versus Black Suit video doesn't get any additional views, but it's kind of hidden from the search engine, so I think it's kind of done. It's been at 10 or 11 million views now for like a year and a half. It hasn't really moved, so that makes me think that YouTube pulled it from the search engine. So the fact that the Arkham Knight Explained video gets like 500,000 views a year, yeah, I would say probably 10 years it'll have 10 million views. Maybe. I would like to see it get a lot. Oh, sorry. That's sorry, Black Mana, my bad. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. Little trigger happy there. Is Batman still lurking in the chat? Yes. Making a Batman live action fan film in July or mid-June. Any suggestions? You mean a live action like fan film? That sounds cool. Good luck with that. You're over in Shanghai, though, so that'd be really interesting to see. It'd be cool if you could film it like in some of the more futuristic looking cities in China. Because I think that would fit with the Batman Beyond motif a lot more, because China's technology, especially their buildings and stuff, look a lot more futuristic than anything in the US at the moment. So that would be cool to see, but you probably don't have the budget to do a lot of like on-location stuff. But that's what I would recommend people. If you want to make a Batman Beyond movie or something like that, you would want to go film it in China. China or Japan. To fit that Neo-Gotham vibe. New York City still looks the same from when I saw it when I was a kid. And then when I was even there recently for a press event, like, 2019 was the last time I went to a press event because of the... Well, no, that's not true. I've been to Zoom press events. Those are weird. I love when everybody talks at once during the Zoom calls. It's so awkward. It's It's like the developer's trying to say something and you hear everybody like, whoa, 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 and then somebody has like their microphones all messed up, so it's like making that really loud, obnoxious noise. Or maybe they have their kids running in the background and stuff like that. The whole digital things aren't really cool at all. It's gonna be nice when things go back to normal a little bit. But that's a year or two away, so. Oh! Hot Wheels! Oh! Monster trucks! This is why Batman doesn't use guns. He's a terrible shot. I died! I died! Whoops. Whoopsies. I am the Batman now. But I can't use guns. Ah! Okay, that ended badly. Your mom's car died? I'm sorry. Well, your mom's okay though, that's good. Cars can be replaced. It's important to get your cars fixed when you need to. I'm kind of in the same boat. Our car's not dead yet. But if it went to Illinois right now, without it being repaired, then the car would die. It needs an oil change, and it needs the tires, I don't know the technical term. Tires rotated? I don't know. The last time anything done with our car was 2018. 2018 was the last time we did anything with our car. I don't use guns because they're a coward's weapon. I know, Batman. Luke, you were right in the front of him. How'd you die? Philadelphia or Jersey, K-Wing? In terms of what? What's the question? What am I comparing them to? I've been to Philadelphia and Jersey. I gotta be careful though. What do you want? What's it about? What's going on? I came from behind. I never did learn to mind my surroundings. You're fine, the Bat. Yep, just waiting back on that Jersey-Philadelphia thing. There probably might be a Red Hood skin in the files. It just hasn't been leaked yet. There was an Armored Batman skin in the files. There was something called Zero Batman, which obviously is this. Armored Batman, everybody thinks is going to be Affleck, maybe. I guess we'll see. Armored Batman skin was supposed to come out before the Zero Batman crossover, but like I said, there is a gag order in place for the Snyder Cut. In fact, they're not even allowed to release how well the movie did. So that's kind of a problem. Apparently there's like a what do they call it? A Bush Roots? I think it's called Bush Roots. Bush Roots campaign to actually have the information about the Snyder Cut and how successful it was for HBO Max release. But that gag order is going to make things very dicey. The Snyder Cut actually did really well. So, but Warner Brothers doesn't want people to know about it. Grassroots. Is it Grassroots? I thought it was called Bush Roots. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I guess it is a Grassroots thing. So they're trying to get that stuff to leak so people understand how well the Snyder Cut did and why the Civil War exists between Warner Media, AT&T, and Snyder. Or Snyderverse, or whatever that... Because there's a group of people who are WB executives that are on Snyder's side. And then there's a group that are not on Snyder's side. They're on the lady who did that interview a couple months ago that started to stir up all that stuff. And then you have the new third party, or fourth party that's in the mix, The Rock and his team. And they're kind of in the middle between restoring some of the stuff they like from Snyder's universe and doing some of their own stuff. Like, Snyder's vision is a little bit different than what The Rock would want. The Rock would want the Justice Society and the Justice League to battle Darkseid. And, of course, you know, that's not how the story was for Zack's movie. It was just purely a Justice League movie. So it would be different. Honestly, if I was Snyder, I would just do whatever The Rock says. Because, I mean, at least you could get part of your vision, like, brought back into the universe. But, I mean, Snyder's very stubborn, so... it's his way or the highway, and I'm pretty sure he's on the highway. But, The Rock really liked the Snyder Cut, so... Time will tell. We'll find out at the DC Fandom event. You're not going to hear anything until either the DC Fandom event or the San Diego Comic-Con in November now. So DC Fandom is October, where you'll get a lot of information about The Batman, Batman Trailer 2, and Black Adam official trailer, and possibly the Flash trailer or the Flash teaser trailer. Something for Aquaman 2. And then San Diego Comic-Con would be all the really big announcements. Assuming they're still doing it digitally. And Warner Brothers isn't doing everything on DC Fandom. DC Fandom 2. I think is what they're calling it. Okay, you're one of mine. You're one of mine. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. As a tourist, which city would be better to visit, Philly or Jersey? It depends on the part of Philly and Jersey that you're going to. If I'm being honest. I would probably not go to Newark, New Jersey. And I don't remember which end of Pennsylvania is the really rough part. But if you're, like, just visiting the city, like, over where the aquarium is, and some of the more, like, restaurants by, I guess, kind of the river or something, or ocean. It's either the river or the ocean. I don't remember. It's pretty nice there. I would stay away from any Revolutionary War areas because they're attracting a lot of violence from protesters. So you could be caught up in something when you're just, you know, trying to, you know, visit places. I would avoid going to the Freedom Bell, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier for the Revolutionary War hero. Like, stay away from those places. And just kind of focus on, like, the, you know, like I said, the aquarium, the museum, things like that. You don't want to get pulled into stuff. You know, because things can get real nasty real quick. I haven't been back to Philadelphia in a year and a half now. So, I don't even, like, the city I live in, I don't even go downtown to that city because there's a lot of anarchy that's been going on for the past year or so. So I don't want us to get hurt or, you know, have to make some type of decision to get people. If my car got surrounded, like, I only have a second to decide, do I run them over or do I let them kill me and drag me out of the car for being white? So, I mean, you know, I've just stayed home mostly. I haven't done any traveling. The last time I went to Newark, it was okay, but Newark is always kind of rough. There are some nice places in Jersey, but, you know, it depends where you go. Just like New York City has rough spots, too. I would avoid Chicago completely, though. Except for where the C2E2 place is. Like, crazy. So, that's just me, though. I mean, you do what you want to do. That's what I would do. I have no idea what that is. Ouch. And I think the bat is in New York City, if memory serves correctly. All right, guys, let's get a new group in. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. Leave party, and we're going to get a new group in. Have I been to Allentown? Yes, I have. K-Wing, do you like the skin now? I like it better than it was. I do like the skin better than when I first saw it. I thought it looked kind of lazy in the beginning. Oh, wow. That's interesting, David. That's Florida, right? Have you gone to Washington, D.C. and seen the first Batman movie car? I have seen the first Batman movie car at car shows in Detroit. I've seen it in Boston, New York City. I've never been to Washington, D.C. I haven't been to Maryland yet. Well, no. I've driven through Maryland, but I've never gone to the Capitol, no. Ever. It was dangerous to go to the Capitol in the early 2000s. Like, they were always on, like, high alert. And then by the time I thought about going to the Capitol, then, I mean, unfortunately, riots have become kind of a normal part of our culture now. Like, ever since, like, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago. So, I mean, I wish I would have gone to places more often, but now I'm super careful where we go. So, you know, even, like, the route that I'm trying to tell, like, I'm still trying to find the safest way for Amber to get to Illinois, which might make the trip a little bit longer because I don't want her to go through, like, Columbus, Ohio, or some other things. I don't want her stopping in Columbus at all. And I don't want her stopping in a couple places in Illinois, Rockford, Chicago, some other places. Like, there's certain towns that are okay, but yeah, you really have to be careful now. It's crazy that it's gotten to this point, and I wish they would talk about this more on the news, but they don't. So, yeah, I honestly, I mean, vigilante, what I find hilarious is people think that getting rid of the cops is going to make a utopia. It's going to create chaos and vigilantes. There's going to be a lot more vigilantes. I'm too old, but I could see how that would be, like, you know, an interesting line of work. I mean, everybody has to understand that escalation causes things. So, I mean, you get rid of something, something else is going to take its place. So, you get rid of all the cops, then you're going to have people taking the law into their own hands. And then it's going to get really messy. So, I guess we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. I don't know. But you know, it goes back to the whole Batman Begins thing. Gordon's line to Batman. You know, we get armor-piercing rounds, or we get, you know, bulletproof vests, they buy armor-piercing rounds. We get this, they do that. You're wearing a mask and jumping off rooftops. Take this guy. So he's saying that Batman caused the Joker to be, like, more crazy than he was. So Batman was dramatic, Joker had to be more dramatic. So it keeps going back and forth. So, like I said, if this doesn't end soon, I mean, it's going to get a lot crazier. So people are just going to have to be safe. And I hope you guys are all safe. I hope, you know, people are taking extra precautions and not visiting certain places and trying to stay out of things. You don't want to be pulled into something, like, if you have, like, you know, no reason to be there. But, yep. So I'm going to have her avoid Columbus, or not drive through Columbus. You don't want to stop in the city. And I actually used to have a job in Rockford a long time ago. So it's sad to hear that Rockford has basically become like real bad. Because I used to go, there was an anime store that I went to in it would be early 2000s. They had a great comic book shop there too. It's just kind of like, sad. And downtown where I live, I can't say the name of the city, but there's broken glass all the time. There's like, it's a mess. We go on the opposite side of town, like away from the actual city, to go grocery shopping and whatever we need. Because if you go down into the center of the city, you're gonna run into a circus, basically, or get stuck in traffic for hours. So, yep. I would recommend definitely going to the Philly aquarium, though. I've wanted to go. It's really good, from what I hear, and my friend lives near there. I was going to take Amber a while ago, but I didn't get a chance, so. All my plans that I wanted to do in 2019, 2020 changed. So, I don't know. This might be good for me, though, because I might actually leave my house more, because my illness prevents me from leaving the house, because like I said, I have good days and I have bad days. And most of the times I leave, I end up in the ER anyway. So these past 2 years, I feel like I've been maybe building up my courage to try to leave the house more. When it's not so much zombie apocalypse outside, I'm going to drive more, I think. Oh my gosh, there's a raptor. Ah! Ah! What in the world? I thought you said those things weren't in, they're not in Battle Royale. I just got eaten by a raptor. That was crazy. What just happened? Weird. I thought that was only in squads. Well, apparently not anymore. It's like, what? Freaky. I just got eaten by a raptor, yo. Name all 50 states and I'll donate next stream. I get enough super chats, noob. I'm good. That would be a fun game. If I was more coherent and I didn't stream as much as I did, I would take you up on that. But I stream 3 times a day. By the time the end of the night, I'm just kind of like a blubbering bleh. So I would, but thankfully I have a lot of very generous viewers that give me a lot in transaction revenue. A lot. In fact, without transaction revenue, this channel would be in serious jeopardy. So thank you everyone who donates when you do, like throughout the month. You guys are all the heroes of this channel. I don't say that enough. Actually, I do. I do say that. I shout you guys out on Twitter quite a bit. I'm still amazed. What happened on Sunday or Monday was insane. It was Sunday. Amber got so many super chats, she screamed so loud that I woke up. And once I wake up, it's hard for me to get back to sleep. But that was a fun day. That was my birthday. I'll never forget my birthday stream. That was insane. I thought that I was going to get audited by Google, though, because we got $1,000 in one night. I was like, holy crap, I'm going to be in so much trouble. I also was upset because the He-Man stream got claimed, which, yeah, I mean, totally makes sense. I mean, it's a He-Man fan game and all that other stuff. But I was like, man, I'm going to lose all those super chats. And then once I ended up talking to the He-Man company, the people that own it, and Google, they told me that all those super chats that I made, I get to keep because they're not revenue. They're a different source of revenue. So super chats and memberships don't count as ad revenue. They're a separate source on the channel. That was a happy day. that That was one of the days that I was just like, ha! Take that, YouTube! I'm untouchable today. And then I think it was we had another stream where we got like 300 or 400 donations, and YouTube blocked the video worldwide and like prevented that video from being seen. And then that video, the super chats, we almost lost those. And then when the video was reinstated because it was a false flag or whatever, we got to keep all those super chats, of course. But I was getting ready to tell our subscribers to refund. So, you know, because YouTube stole the money. That was scary. YouTube gives me a lot of stress, if people don't know this. But I can't do anything else being disabled, so... It's this or... I don't know. I guess I could be a telemarketer from home, but I don't think I'd want to do that. I'd rather do YouTube. I would much rather do that, I'm pretty sure. I'm such a bad shot when it comes to Fortnite. And also, guys, when Amber's in Illinois, there will be more Fortnite streams wearing the Batman skin. Because I kind of want to go over... Either that, or I'm going to go to the playground, and I'll just, like, do lore on the Batman Zero skin. Because, I mean, the comic is pretty interesting. And this is why you don't have sausage late at night, guys. Especially, reheating McDonald's breakfast food, because those peppercorns, for me, they give me acid reflux. So that's why I'm kind of burpy. Ugh. But it was so good going down, it's just, if it doesn't digest well, then it's kind of like, oi. Oi! Not fun. Huh? Wait, is that a missile launcher? Ooh, Batman with a missile launcher. Nice! Frank Miller Batman, y'all. The one thing I always wanted to do is I wanted to get Affleck's voice changer technology. What was that? Fancy. Thank you. You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind to me. Thank you very much. Giving me legendary weapons, missile launchers. I'm feeling the love. But anyway, I wanted to get the technology that Affleck had to do the Batman voice, and I wanted to do videos on that back in 2015, 2016. And I was never able to get that voice modifier technology. And like you guys know, YouTubers don't share secrets with one another. So, it's not like I could ask somebody for help, like, finding that voice modifier. Because I was going to do, like, a ton of Affleck-related stuff. I was also under the impression after BVS that, you know, Affleck was going to be around as Batman for a long time. And I can't really spoof his voice without the electronics equipment. So, Bale thankfully made it so that you could spoof his voice. I don't think he did it intentionally, mind you, but oh my gosh, from 2008 all the way through 2013, 14, and 15, I had a lot of fun doing the Bale impression. It was great. And comedy gold. Speaking like this. All the time. You know? The only problem is it murders your throat after a while. There was like different variants of the voice you could do. You could do the voice where, you know, you were somewhat legible, and then you could do the ones where just kind of you sound like you're grumbling. You know? And people would still get, oh, he's doing a Bale impression. That's right. I'm gonna put a crime in the face. You know, people would still understand what you're doing. But I wanted to incorporate that with the Mr. Fluffy voice. But I could never find the right equipment to... Because I bought different voice modifiers over the years, but they never quite sounded like Ben Affleck's Batman. They sounded like demons from the Seventh Circle of Hell, or like Stormtrooper helmets, something like that. The Cybermen from Doctor Who. It wasn't quite like that sound, which was really annoying. Oh, somebody ended up using the missile launcher on us. Interesting. So for me, I feel like that was a major missed opportunity, like back then. If I knew a little bit more about sound engineering and stuff like that, sound effects, I probably could have, like, put something together. But now it's to the point where, I mean, yeah, Ben Affleck is coming back in the Flash movie only to die, probably. That's the leading theory going on in the industry, is that what can you do to make sure that Ben Affleck doesn't come back as Batman? Kill him. That's what they were going to do in the Snyderverse anyway. After the third movie, they were going to yeet Batman and have the next Batman be Jonathan Kent, who wouldn't have superpowers, and he would be Batman. Be like, okay. Dun dun. So yeah, Affleck is probably going to be toast, unfortunately. I owe you that one, Ghost Rider. Oof. Whoa. You deserve that. How's it going? Alright, cool. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I plan on doing a couple more Batman-centered Fortnite streams. What those will detail, I'm not really sure. Thanks for the assist, guys. Appreciate it. You guys are always watching my back. The feels. I feel the feels. I feel it, Felix. I had feelings for Rachel. Rachel! Yeah, see, it doesn't really work as much anymore because Bale's not really the Batman anymore, so it just, Everything's do you bleed? You will. No! Do you believe in gravity? You will. Martha, yeah. Martha's the biggest joke. Martha's the most overplayed thing. Why did you say that name? Martha! My mom's name is your mom's name. What does it all mean? What does it all mean? I love Hizzy. Hizzy's the best. I can't live in a world without Superhero Cafe. I can't. I have to have Superhero Cafe so the world makes sense again. It's like the greatest thing on YouTube. Always has been. Ah! Darn. Well, that happened. Why? Hanging out with my best buddy Joker. Truce. A truce, Bruce. A truce, Bruce. No, I don't think I will. Blows Joker up with a bat bomb. I guess some days you really can get rid of a bomb. Haha. Besides Red Hood, would you guys have wanted a Flashpoint movie with Negan as Batman? Thomas Wayne? Since that was all part of the plan, and they were going to do actual Flashpoint to, you know, reboot the universe eventually after, you know, Ben Affleck died in the end of Justice League Part 3 or whatever. Or the middle of Justice League Part 3. One of the arcs of Justice League Part 3, he dies. Not sure where. We'll never know. Oh my gosh, last hit? Nice. Batman! I didn't say start next match. I said ready up. Return, 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 return. He would have been a good Thomas Wayne, I know. Nice, the winning shot. Maybe. Somebody got timed out for saying nope. Batman knowing Superman has the same name as his mom. Batman. OMG! Did we become best friends? Oh, I'm terrible at Fortnite. I don't care. That was never a never ever a question. Ever. That I'm bad at Fortnite. Nope. I don't think anybody had that assumption that I was good at this game. The only reason I ever got into it is because of the fact it came on the Switch, and when Batman and other superheroes ended up in this game, I've looked at majority of the superheroes and sci-fi elements. And every new release, I look at it for a little bit, but mostly I only cover Batman and Marvel skins in this game. So once every other few months, you'll see something with this game. I'm gonna be doing at least a few days with the Batman skin in this game. Like I'll do a couple streams with it, just like I did when Comic Book Batman released in September. I did like 5 streams of it. With this suit, based on the reception not being quite what it was when I looked at the first Batman suits in Fortnite, which had like 500 to 600 people watching, I did like 6 of those streams. I'll do like 2 or 3 of these. And then I'll get back to doing more Monster Hunter and, I don't know the other stuff I was doing. Gonna be doing a lot of community streams this month. Mario Party and Mario Kart and, Smash Brothers. Probably Power Rangers. Things like that. You sent me something on Twitter? Alright, I'll look it up later. K-Wing the best player for the opposite day. Haha. Opinions on Gotham Knights and will you play it? Yes, I'm going to cover Gotham Knights. I'm going to play it with co-op on this channel. And then the walkthrough will be on the other channel, like solo. So if you guys want to see co-op gameplay, then you would watch K-Wing's Let's Plays. If you want to see single player all the way through, then you would watch the O1 channel, which would have more episodes and stuff like that. You're only going to have 1 episode a day on this channel for Gotham Knights co-op. And then for for the single player, you'll have probably going to play the game all the way through as Nightwing or maybe Red Hood. I don't know. The thing is, it's an RPG in a sense, so you don't want to be using lots of different characters because, I mean, your skill set's going to get all messed up. So, I mean, what's probably going to end up happening is there'll be a full walkthrough of Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin, and the Batgirl stuff co-op would be over on the Let's Play channel. So I'll probably, my first time through the game, I'm probably going to go through it as Nightwing. I will do gameplay episodes of Red Hood and Batgirl and Robin on the O1 channel, like I did, because I'm going to look at all the DLC, everything that you can think of that I did with Arkham, I'm going to do with Gotham Knights. Lore videos, Batman gameplay videos, challenge videos, all that stuff. Assuming challenges are in Gotham Knights, I don't know. We don't really have a lot of information about that game, and it was delayed until sometime either spring or summer 2022. Although we should be getting a concrete release date for Gotham Knights in at DC Fandom or at E3 next month. Should. Provided there's not another global pandemic, the game should come out next year. Now, Justice League versus the Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, probably going to get delayed till 2023. Because Warner Brothers' big push next year is going to be Gotham Knights and the Lego Star Wars game, and if they announce the DC versus Marvel thing. Like, the Suicide Squad isn't really quite ready yet. And you're going to find out more about that as the weeks and months go on this year. Because they just brought in another developer to help them, like, you know, really, they say fine-tune the online multiplayer, but in reality it's to build the online multiplayer. Like that whole, Looter, I don't remember what that online, I don't really play games like that. The Battle Royale, not Battle Royale, those squad-based games, I don't know what they're called. I don't know the technical term for them. But I have a sneaky suspicion that the Suicide Squad game is going to get delayed until 2023. That is, I think that's pretty, you know, safe to say. Gotham Knights will be the big push for 2022. Marvel vs. DC would be a big push for 2022, 2023. Lego Star Wars, which they're having a lot of problems with at the moment, because of, like, being understaffed, and they just lost somebody I knew who was working for them for quite a long time. I've known him ever since Lego Batman 1. He was, like, one of their really talented, like, minds, responsible for the Lego Batman games and Lego Harry Potter and the first Lego Marvel game. Like, he's gone. He left the company. He says he retired, but I don't know why he left. There has been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with the Lego Star Wars game. And LucasArts and stuff like that. So that's why it's kind of all messed up. So, you should get the game out next year, though. Should. Maybe fall if you're lucky. What DC versus Marvel? It's supposed to be a fighting game. That's the rumor. It's been a rumor for a couple years now. Everybody thinks that the announcement is going to be just a Marvel fighting game. That's not big enough to break the internet. You have to have, like, a massive crossover thing. And DC versus Marvel would be it. Also, DC might have let Marvel make a Lego game and, you know, outsource that or whatever, since they own the company that made the Lego Marvel game. But I don't see them going out of their way to promote a Marvel fighting game. I don't think Warner Brothers would do that. And, you know, allow their developer company to make a Marvel fighting game. They own NetherRealms. Like, people don't realize that Ed Boon is not a third-party developer. He's in-house. Like, Warner Brothers owns his soul. Your soul is mine. You know? So the only way that you could really get a Marvel fighting game is if it's DC versus Marvel, which is something Ed kind of slipped up and said 3 years ago. Like, that would be the only way that it would really work. But, you know, maybe things have changed, but I just don't see that happening. Whereas, I can tell you the difference between NRS and Sora. Sora, Sakurai's company, the guy who made Smash Brothers, is not in-house at Nintendo. He is a licensed developer that works with Nintendo, but they don't own him. They don't own It's not like a HAL Labs situation, like where Sakurai came from. Sakurai was from HAL Labs, which was in-house at Nintendo. You could argue that the Pokemon Company is kind of like a subsidiary outside company too, but NetherRealms is in-house, just like WB Games is in-house and a couple of the studios are in-house. What's my favorite game of all time? Probably Chrono Trigger, Link to the Past, Arkham City, just to name a few. I don't really have a number one favorite game of all time. Not off the top of my head, no. Because I play too many games. I love games. On average, I look at about 200 games a year. Roughly. Well, before the pandemic, I looked at 200 games a year. During the pandemic, I looked at... Last year, we only covered about 90 games. This year, in terms of new releases, we've looked at 5 games. By the time the year is over, we'll have done maybe 30 brand new releases, because that just shows you how there's really not a lot of games this year. Most of the games that we've done on this channel this year have been old. We've done a lot of retro stuff as live stream series. I looked at 10 Mario games, 5 or 6 Zelda games. I've done a lot of stuff. And I'm going to be looking at more Zelda games. I don't know why I thought that was going to work. He came down. Of course he came down. Yeah, there's really nothing at all this year. And if people think, well, that's just 2021. No, 2022 and 2023 are going to be impacted too. Like, maybe 2023 will get back to normal with the way things were. But it's gonna be a while. I don't know why they kept respawning me over there. I don't want to be over there. Yeah, I got somebody shooting arrows at me. Smash reveal for E3. Which character do you expect? The character that I expect from the Smash Brothers reveal at E3, Crash Bandicoot. Most likely. Or, I'm just throwing it out there, Monster Hunter character from Monster Hunter Rise. Like, it's either going to be Crash Bandicoot or Monster Hunter Rise, Kimura character. Where the heck is my team at? These guys have the high ground. They're just killing us. Yeah, they have the high ground. Oh, they had the high ground. I guess you guys got him. Good job. What was I saying again? Sorry, I was kind of looking for snipers, so I got kind of distracted. Is that one of mine? That's not one of mine. No, that's not one of mine. Where'd he go? Eep. Yeah, they're back up with their high ground again. What was I thinking about? Something about E3. Smash Brothers. Yeah, I would say Monster Hunter Rise character, and probably Crash Bandicoot. I think you're only going to get one character that's going to be announced. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. I just saw that. I have a feeling that they're just going to announce one character, and then what they'll do is next year, or right around Christmas or something, at the end of this year, they'll announce the final character, and it's going to cause a major upset, because then they're going to say, that's it. That's the end of Smash Brothers Ultimate. But, I mean, people have to understand that Smash Brothers Ultimate they've been making content for the game since 2018. As far as I know, this is the longest fighting game to have the amount of content that it does. Like, everybody jokes that Street Fighter has a ton of content, but... Thank you. Batman with a purple gun. Yeah, just so people know, we're going to go for about 2 hours tonight. I know some people are making fun of how long this stream is. My streams average an hour and a half to 2 hours. 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2 hours, 2 hours. Hour and 45. All depends. I know, Zelda, it's fine. I'm going to let you out and feed you in a little bit. You were climbing on my laptops again. Yes, you were. Yes, you were, you little fur monkey. I'd like to get a hat trick. If I got a hat trick, that'd be pretty cool. Whoops. What else was I thinking? Oh, monster trucks. Hello? 47 to 43. This one's really close. Oh, no hat trick. I died. I died before I could get 3 in a row. A Turtles character for Smash? No, I don't see that happening. The next time you'll see a Turtles in a crossover game would probably be Power Rangers. You think I'm joking, but you never know. The Ninja Turtles were turned into Power Rangers in the Boom comics. And Boom has a lot of pull with the Enway studio, along with Hasbro. Boom has had several of their Power Rangers turned into action figures, video game characters, and possibly soon animated movies. You might see more adult Power Rangers stuff as like animated films. At least within the next like 3 years or so. Now that Power Rangers is not really going to be... Darn. Power Rangers won't really be a Nickelodeon exclusive anymore. They're going to Netflix. At least that's the big rumor right now. Which, that would be kind of crazy because Nickelodeon has Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. They were kind of cornering the market in that. And Hasbro's going to send Power Rangers over to Netflix for their second season of Dino Fury. I mean, yeah, Dino Fury's numbers aren't quite what Hasbro was expecting, I guess. But, I mean, it's doing typical Power Rangers numbers. Moving it to Netflix is not really the greatest thing they could do. That's just me. Here's the difference, though. Just off topic a little bit, non-Batman related. If Saban still own Power Rangers, and they saw all this crossover stuff happening in Fortnite, guess how quickly Power Rangers would have been added to Fortnite? Right now, you would have the Green Ranger or the Red Ranger running around shooting people in Fortnite. I guarantee it. That's how Saban used to operate. Saban is a guy that doesn't mind having as many of his hands in the cookie jar as possible. Hasbro is very careful. And also, they're very selective. And, you know, they're a very by-the-numbers company. So, since Power Rangers isn't doing quite what they thought was going to happen when they bought it, which I don't know why they thought that. Power Rangers has always been kind of like a niche thing. It's never really been this, like, after the 90s, this massive, like, phenomenon, like, ratings hit. It really hasn't been that anymore for at least 10, 15 years. So I don't know what Hasbro was really expecting when they bought it, if it was going to be, like, this massive, giant thing. Which, obviously, it wasn't. Obviously. But if they're moving it to Netflix, I don't see that as a really good thing. Netflix has a decent-sized audience, mind you. But it's Netflix. More people have cable than they have Netflix. So that to me is a little weird. You know? Power Rangers Nerf guns. Last two questions so I don't flood you. Do you think the next Smash game will feel extremely different when Sakurai leaves? And what would your reaction be to Waluigi in Smash? You think that Sakurai is saving Waluigi for the final character reveal? I'm pretty sure the last two character reveals are third parties. They're third-party characters. You are kind of playing a game that doesn't really feel like Sakurai's involvement. Smash Brothers has been co-developed by Namco Bandai now. This is their second game. The first collaboration between Nintendo and Namco with Smash Brothers was Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS. Their second collaboration is Smash Brothers Ultimate, which Namco is more than half of that game's development. Like, Sakurai's team is just more kind of like consultant, and like, you know, Sakurai helps develop the characters and how they're going to fight and stuff like that. But the core development of Smash Brothers was done by Namco, like the newest one, Ultimate. So my feeling is either Namco is going to stay on for the next Smash Brothers game in like 5 years, or the team that helped build Smash Brothers, and this is just spitballing, the team who built Smash Brothers that works at Namco, Nintendo will probably hire them to create their own studio that exclusively they just make Smash Brothers games, like Sakurai did. As terms of like getting all the characters in again, you won't see that again for 10 years. There won't be another Smash Brothers game where everyone is here again until like I'm 50 or 55 would be my guess. Because even Street Fighter doesn't... Well, no, Street Fighter somehow manages to bring back characters through DLC all the time, but Nintendo wasn't really like that before. They kind of are now, but... Alright, let's get one more group in here. If more people want to come in, you can. Or whatever. We have mostly an all-Batman team. That's kind of cool. There's some people saying that there might be an extra Smash Brothers character after the second one. I would love Phoenix Wright. You kidding me? Phoenix Wright would be amazing. I don't see it happening, though. If another Capcom character makes it in, it would be probably Monster Hunter. Because they have like this really big deal going on with Capcom right now. They have a 9-month exclusive with Monster Hunter Rise. And Monster Hunter Rise is, like, rising to be one of the top-selling Monster Hunter games of all time. There was no way I could say that without, like, doing some type of pun. So Rise is doing incredibly well. Nintendo would be very foolish not to incorporate the Monster Hunter either stories or Monster Hunter Rise characters into Smash Brothers, because that is a even bigger audience where they can advertise the Monster Hunter game. The question is, are they going to do it? It would be awesome if Waluigi shows up as free DLC, a year after the game's been discontinued service-wise. That would be hilarious. Like in 2022, next year at Christmas time, you get free Waluigi. Because what's going to happen is they're going to announce a character at E3, right? And then at E3, it's going to be some character that obviously is going to be very big, and it's going to drive people crazy, just like Banjo was revealed at E3. And when that happens, then probably November, you're going to get the next Smash Brothers Direct, or at the the Video Game Awards, like they did last year. I think there was a character announced. Yes, Video Game Awards was Sephiroth. So they'll probably have like another character reveal at the Game Awards, and then that character will come out in February or March, and then they'll be done with Smash Brothers, or so they'll say. And then Christmas or November, they'll give people Waluigi free or something. Maybe. I doubt it, but I think that'd be pretty cool of them. I don't know what character would be so earth-shattering that they would announce at E3, though, the way they did Banjo and Mega Man and stuff for Smash Brothers. So maybe we won't get an announcement at E3. I don't know. You could just get a Smash Brothers Direct sometime in the summer for the character. Because I don't think the character's going to come out in June. I think it's too soon. Like, Pirate just came out not long ago. So you would probably have the next Smash Brothers character come out like late summer, August or something. Like, big reveal in June, and then the character would drop in, the summer sometime. That'd be my guess. Yeah, but Chad, those are the Mii costumes from the previous Monster Hunter games. Those aren't the same Mii costumes. They're not based on Monster Hunter Rise, though. They're based on the 2015 Mii, so Monster Hunter World. Not World, sorry. Monster Hunter Ultimate. Those are the Ultimate skins for Rathalos and Hunter. That's not the new stuff. Well, the new Phoenix Wright game doesn't have anything to do with Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, though. It takes place 100 years in the past. Or later. I'd have to check the translation for that. I thought it was supposed to take place in either the 1900s or the late 1800s. Because they have a character called Sherlock Holmes in it, so... Guess we'll see. You think another Final Fantasy character is going to be in it? I mean, they already have 2 Final Fantasy characters. I'd be curious to know what Final Fantasy character you would think would appear in it. They already have the 2 biggest, Cloud and Sephiroth. So, what would be left? Oh, I mean, of course, Tifa or Aerith or something, but... No, I say the third-party character is either going to be from Capcom or Namco. Those are the only ones left, because Team Ninja said, and they wouldn't lie about this because they were promoting the Ninja Gaiden game that comes out next month. They were promoting the Ninja Gaiden game, and they said, well, we would have loved to have Hayabusa in Smash Brothers, but nobody asked us. So, there's no way Hayabusa could end up in Smash Brothers. What's probably going to happen is, and I'm just spitballing here, Ryu Hayabusa is going to get a Mii costume. Like, now that Sakurai knows that Team Ninja is interested, Ninja Gaiden will get a rep in terms of a Mii costume. Which maybe down the line in a future Smash Brothers game, we could get Ryu in it as like a guest character or something like that. But I don't see him I would be floored if he ended up in Smash Ultimate, but I don't see it happening. Team Ninja is very... They don't lie about that stuff. That's how I know it's legit. They've always been very upfront about what they do. If something's in something, they tell people. If it's not, then they don't want people to be like building up hype for something that's never going to happen. They would much rather push for something that actually exists, like their Ninja Gaiden collection, which comes out June 11th, I believe. Which I have no idea how I'm going to showcase that game. I guess I'll have to showcase it on my own channel, because I can't play it here. It's too gory, too M-rated. Fantastic game. It's a great franchise. But I can't play it on this channel. Not general audience. Not even close. Heads roll, limbs fly off. And not like laughable gore either. It's pretty intense. I got a little squeamish playing Razor's Edge, which they called it Razor's Edge because the whole premise of the game was like slicing off body parts, like, you know, it's like a razor, with Ryu using different weapons. So I mean, now that these are updated high definition versions of Ninja Gaiden, that means it's gonna be might be hard for me to stomach as much. So when I do the streams, I'm not gonna eat beforehand. just in case I'm in for a bloodbath. I don't do well with that. I don't do well with that. Some people can handle it, I can't. So you hear EA is making The Force Unleashed 3. LucasArts might be announcing this at E3, but I thought I would just share this because I find it kind of funny. How many of you guys remember 1313 Star Wars, the Boba Fett game? Anybody remember that game or no? Nice shot. Where'd the car go? Oh, I guess they're gone. I thought you killed the dude in the car. But anyway, back to Star Wars 1313. So over the summer, last year, when they were talking about Mandalorian hype and stuff like that, the company responsible for before Disney axed the project, mind you, they killed it. They were talking about, like, all these people were hyped about the Mandalorian and saying, hey, there needed to be a Mandalorian video game. And the developer behind the 1313 Star Wars game said, well, we had a game that was going to be about a Star Wars bounty hunter that was going to be better than Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Star Wars 1313. And, you know, everything was going well with development, and they were actually getting ready to show, like, playable demo and other aspects of the game. Because the game was, like, before Disney came in and, like, shuttled the project completely, the game was 35% done or something like that. They were already, like, pretty far along in development, and they were ready to, you know, show something. And then Disney bought out LucasArts, or Lucasfilm, the whole company, the whole shebang. They got Star Wars, they got everything. The game was, even though the game was still in development and, you know, it probably would have done really well still, even if Disney was the one that owned it, like, Disney just outright canceled the game. So that was it. So recently, it was over the summer, people were trending talking about a Mandalorian video game that doesn't exist, and the company who made that Star Wars game was back in the limelight again. And a little while ago, and this is just a rumor, so it's not confirmed yet, but a little while ago, the lady who was used to be at LucasArts, like the video game company, right? She recently added a bunch of, like, Disney Interactive or EA people into her, you know, followings on LinkedIn and on Twitter and stuff like that. So it's possible that the project might be alive again, and, you know, it could show up for a current gen system. I don't know. Or they could be working on an entirely new game. But, I mean, the world is right. They do want a Mandalorian / Boba Fett game that's really good. And that's what that game would have been. So the fact that this older company is kind of, they're bringing back a lot of those team members and they're talking again, that makes me think it's not just like some reunion convention. Maybe the game has been revitalized. And that's happened before in the industry where a game has been outright canceled. And then years later, 10 years later or something, they get a second chance. So, you never know. I would be down for it. I think it'd be pretty awesome, actually. So I guess we'll see. I'm following them on Twitter, so I'm keeping an eye on them. Like the producer behind the game, the head designer and the composer and stuff like that. And I've just, been keeping tabs on what they're up to. Just like I follow Batman people, I follow like game developers that I really like. And I like, keeping tabs on people. I guess I just don't like surprises. I like to know that stuff is coming more than, oh, surprise, here it is. Because then, as my job as a reporter, then I can tell people what's going on. So it's a win-win for me. Whereas, the day it comes out, then I'm rushing with, like, all these hundreds of other YouTube channels and Twitter personalities and whatever, like, getting the news out there when it's already, everybody's already competing for the story, like, to get it up first. Oh my gosh. Da-da-da. How is Fortnite Batman comic? It's pretty decent. I would say it's decent. It's not terrible. It's not great. Parts of it are good. But, does it justify buying the whole thing? Like, I don't know. The first issue was pretty good. The second issue was okay. I'm curious to see where they go with the third one. But, we'll see. I think the third one is going to involve, like, some pretty interesting stuff. The second one was, kind of like the time skip more, and Batman being in, like, this endless loop of 22 minutes. Dying, coming back, making mention. The only thing that I don't like about the book, and I'm just throwing this out here, is when he dies and respawns, how does he get all his equipment back, and how is he able to leave all these messages for himself? Like, he shows up and jumps out of the battle bus every 22 minutes, like on an endless loop or whatever in this Fortnite world, which, they're trying to showcase what the game is and stuff like that. If that was true, and I've seen Groundhog's Day, nothing that Bill Murray did in those movies, stayed different until the end of the time loop. So how is Batman able to write notes to himself, warning himself about things, when everything would just reset to exactly how it was the moment he got there? That's what I don't understand. That's the only eyebrow that I have raised to the whole, like, Fortnite crossover thing, is if they're going with time loops and things like that. That's the only thing that doesn't really match up with me, especially if you grew up with 80s sci-fi. Unless they explain it in the comics later or something, I don't know. That's the only thing that I'm kind of... There's a little bit of a disconnect for me. It's like, wait a second. How is he able to do this and this? And you could say, because he's Batman. But, so Batman is able to control time itself and bend it to his whims? His batarangs are magical? Batman Zero and Batman Agent Jones have the same belt. Yeah. Because he's Batman, okay. Yeah, alright. Yes, Batman is able to change how time and reality works. Because Batman found the reality gem. There you go. I mean, technically Thanos' gauntlet is in this universe, so, I mean, maybe Batman stole the reality gem somehow. I don't know. Okay, so memories reset, feelings and buildings don't. The map stays the same, the people don't. But where is he picking up all this equipment again? If his equipment respawns with him, I don't get it. Wouldn't everything, like, respawn with him how he first arrived? Also, if it was respawning when he first arrived, wouldn't he be wearing his, like, not torn up batsuit? See, that's the only thing I don't get. But then again, I overthink things. That's what I do. When it comes to Batman, I always overthink. Because I'm Batman! Bad guy. Da 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 da. All right. 79 out of 43. If people are asking when is the next day that you'll do a Fortnite stream, probably would be Thursday. Probably Thursday. More will be explained soon. All right, thank you, Rusty. Yeah, that was the only thing that I had, like, kind of like, I was weirded out about it. I like how Batman operates in the Fortnite world. I think that's pretty cool. Oh man. No worries, Rusty. When I have some more time, I'm going to dive into the lore of Fortnite Batman. And with Amber gone, I'm probably going to write more Batman lore, to be honest. Because when we lived in Avalon, we both, like, Amber kind of stayed in her loft area, and she would stream on one of her sites or whatever. This house is much smaller than Avalon, where we lived. Avalon. So I mean, we're very close together here. So if I start to write a Batman lore or something, oh wow, that's really cool. If I start to write a lore or a review or something like that, I can get distracted because she gets lonely. She needs, like, snuggle time, or she'll end up talking to me for hours about something, and I completely lose my train of thought. And if I was writing a Batman lore or something like that, I have to focus on what I'm writing. If I get interrupted or something happens, then I never get back to that video, because either I have to completely write it all over again from scratch, or I never do it. And I have written some things over from scratch, but then I never get around to doing the voiceover for it, or you know, doing a lot with it. Maybe that's an ADD thing, I don't know. But if I get distracted and I lose focus on something, I can forget all about it and just, yeah, it's very frustrating. So, since I'm going to read more of the comics tonight for Fortnite, I might put together a part 1 and 2 thing and then just talk about what's going on. And I'd probably put it up on my Batman channel, though, but I don't know how they would feel seeing Fortnite Batman on the, on the 01 channel. I don't know what type of reaction that would get. So maybe I'll do it over here on this channel. I don't know. I did a lore gameplay video and stuff over here, and it wasn't really responded well for Batman. So I think I have to stay over where my niche audience is for that. But anyway, let's watch the trailer one more time and call it a night. I had a lot of fun, guys. It was really cool playing with a lot of you guys. Movie time.
If one thing I know about you. Even when the chips are down and the hand is dealt, you never, ever give up. I don't know where you are or what trials you're facing, but I have nothing but pity for whoever gets in your way.
Yeah, that looks like Gotham in the background. It really does. Alright, guys and gals, that is going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching this impromptu Fortnite new Batman Zero Suit skin. Zero Suits. Oh, gosh. New Batman Zero skin based on the Batman Zero Point comics that are out right now. Issues 1 and 2 are available, with issue 3 coming out next month, I believe, or sometime this month. I don't remember. You can read the issues on DC Infinite app, the whole thing for just... I think it's like $7.99 a month. You get access to thousands of DC comics. That's why I have the app. It's because I'm reading a lot of Batman issues, and I just happen to read this. Or, if you're brave, you can go into your local comic book store or Walmart and pick this up. And right now, the Batman Zero bundle is available for, I believe, 3,000 or 2,000 points, something like that. You get Batman. You get his battle-worn cape. The grapple axe, you get his Zero wing, and this really cool thing. Picture. Next time, when I'll be playing as Zero Batman, we'll be bringing the Batwing back into the mix. I use the messed up glider at the moment, but next time, be Thursday probably, be bringing the Batwing back, because the Batwing is dope. I like the Batwing. All in all, I think the costume is pretty cool. I'm rocking the Batman music from 2019, and I enjoyed myself. So tomorrow, guys, you can see what the streams are. We've got a Mario Kart community stream. There is Cuphead, which is going to be crazy, and probably a Zelda stream. No Pokemon tomorrow, so Pokemon will return on Thursday. But have a great night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I will also, this week, will be posting my thoughts and impressions, or thoughts and theories on the Marvel vs. DC game that may or may not be in development, and put that over on the O1 channel. It'll be like a 10-minute video. I might also have some snippets from Ed Boon's interview talking about the possibility 3 years ago. So we'll see if I can find it. I have it somewhere. All right, guys, have a great night. God bless. Happy gaming. Be seeing you, Gothamites.